Welcome to the programme as we take a look at the Swiss class Re6 6 electric locomotives at work on the Gotthard Main between 1994 and 2007. Although not technically part of the Gotthard Railway, we begin our programme in the very north, on the route from Basel to Frick, where the line continues south through Olten and onwards to Immensee and Artg Goldau and the Gotthard Railway proper. Heading south through Praten is 11616, heading the 1216 Bruxelles to Cours on the 19th of June 2002. Heading north near Frick are 11672 and 11187. The Class 620s, or Class Re66 as they are better known, were constructed for use over the Gotthard Main to Chiasso in the mid to late 1970s. Today they still operate over this route, usually in tandem with Class 420 and 430 electrics, or Re442 and Re443. Which will be a common formation seen throughout this programme. Since the gradual demise of the AE66 locomotives, SBB have used the 620s on services away from the Gotthard Route. 11617 passes through Mülheim on the 29th of April 2004, heading an oil train for Mellingen. Returning to Praten, and 11679 is seen on a similar working on the 19th of June 2002. A total of 89 locomotives were built and just one, number 11638, has been withdrawn. This was as a result of accident damage incurred after a horrendous incident at Sachsen on the 16th of February 1990, when the whole of one side of the locomotive was ripped apart. It is not only heavy freight trains that the class can be seen working. Here 11636 heads a short parcels train towards Basel. In the second part of this programme, we head to the Gotthard Bahn proper, and to one of the most famous points on the route, the village of Wassen, on the spiral section up towards Göschenen. We begin back in 1994, when the class could be found working on passenger as well as freight services. The Re6s could operate in multiple with the shorter class Re44, which shared many of the same internal components. Number 11628 is the second locomotive in the formation, heading up the grade towards Göschenen. One 11667 heads down the grade with a short engineer's train. Up until 1992, all locomotives wore the attractive green livery, as seen here. The green liveried locomotives and associated passenger stock look good on this popular mainline railway. The class were common on passenger trains right up until 2002. When those allocated to the passenger sector moved across to the cargo sector in exchange for newer Class 460s on the 1st of January 2003. This is 11653. A site now consigned to history is this green Re66 heading a through train from Germany. By now, the new red paint scheme was beginning to appear on a handful of locomotives that had passed through the workshop at Belinzona. This is 11619 seen heading a northbound working. We now move to the station at Göschenen, just outside the famous Gotthard Tunnel. Approaching the camera are 11667 and 11245, on the 14th of June 2005. For a period of at least 35 years, the Re6s were the most powerful electric locomotive in the world, being rated at 10,600 horsepower. They were the last electric locomotives specifically designed for working on the Gotthard Main line, and were designed in the late 1960s, being built by SLM and SAAS, with electrical equipment coming from Brown Boveri and Chi. (11657) and 11170 arrive in the passing loops with a train bound for Italy. Number 620042 was the first of the class to be outshopped on the 25th of June 2002 in the new SBB Cargo livery, and was the first to denote the Class 620 branding. Sister locomotive number 620087 leads 11346 out of the tunnel on a northbound freight. Heavier freight trains require the use of banking locomotives up from Erstfeld. On this occasion, two Class Re6s were being used to provide assistance to trains powering up the grades. Numbers 11657 to 11688 were equipped with a radio system in January 2000 that allowed the driver to remotely control the locomotives if one was being used for banking duties on the rear. The Re66 and Re44 combination were often referred to as an Re1010 by adding the two types together. With a power output just short of 17,000 horsepower, the combination packed a very powerful punch, needed to shift 1600 ton plus freight trains over the line. If you add the power of an Re66 providing assistance on the rear, then available train horsepower was raised to around 27,000. Having completed their banking duties, numbers 11651 and 11659 coupled up and returned back down to Erstfeld. A change of date now, and the 27th of February 2007 sees 11671 and 11365 enter the station with a northbound freight. On the 1st of March 2007, numbers 11613 and 11231 head through the snow on their way south. We now move to Artg Goldau, where we will continue south through Erstfeld and onwards once more to Wassen. As mentioned before, 620-042 was the first of the class to sport the new SBB Cargo livery in 2002. Here it arrives from the north paired with 11188 on Saturday the 15th of July 2006. Heading through the station on the 1st of March 1997 are 11613 and 11231. Commissioning of 4 prototypes began in 1969, with the machines entering service in 1972. The first 2 locomotives were constructed with a hinged body shell, which allowed for horizontal movement when the locomotive encountered changes in the gradient. The other 2 had solid box bodies, with dampeners fitted to allow for gradient changes. This latter design was later used on the main production runs. All of the prototypes are still in traffic, and here we can see number 11601, one of the ones fitted with a hinged body frame. Moving south, and we are at Zizikon on the evening of the 29th of April 2004, as 11626 and 11170 head north just before 9:30 in the evening. 30 minutes earlier and it was the turn of 11612 and 11363. Erstfeld is the location of a staging point for most of the freight trains that currently use the Gotthard route. With the opening of the new Gotthard base tunnel in 2016, train crew facilities here are expected to close. Rolling into the station on the 13th of May 2003 are 11641 and 11175. Green liveried examples are now becoming increasingly rare as locomotives receive works attention and are repainted. 11659 and 11356 arrive from the north. An interesting pairing here as 11670 arrives with 436114, the latter now belonging to open access operator Crossrail. We head south once more and to 1996, as we call into Artg Goldau station as 11670 rounds the curve at the head of this southbound service. Heading the other way is 11613. 11615 makes light work of this afternoon mail train. These were the only trains to stop at this station, as local passenger services had by then been replaced by buses. This was followed by 11628. We are just south of Zigragen, as 11687 powers up the grade with a southbound passenger working. Soon after, 11657 leads 11234, with 460091 providing the banking assistance. This is Gurtnalen, as 11662 drops down past the camera with a northbound passenger train made up of a mixture of Swiss and Italian coaching stock. We now move to a much quieter setting as we return to Wassen station, this time on the evening of the 13th of June 2005. (620-089) passes through with a short rake of empty cement tanks. This is 11646 and 11246. in the opposite direction, 11641 and 11176, are paired up on this southbound container train. Within a few minutes, the train was followed by 11622 and 11242 on this wagon load service bound for Italy. The following morning sees 11636 and 11339 using their regenerative braking to slow this northbound mixed freight. In our final section we move away from the Gotthard Main line now to the Artg Route at Kandersteg. Heading through Kandersteg are 11667 and 11264 on the 28th of February 2007. (620.061 and 11339 head this short freight bound for Spiez. Just south of the station we see 11633 on another northbound freight. Our final section comes from Frutigen, as 11630 leads BLS 465s, numbers 013 and 015. We would like to thank you for watching this programme.